Do you feel alone even in a room? I do. Sometimes in the bright aisles of the grocery store where the freezers exhale and the cart's wheel clicks like a nervous metronome. Loneliness is not only quiet, it is loud with fluorescent hum. Back home, the kettle begins to whisper. A neighbor's dog announces the mail, and I wrap both palms around a mug until the heat persuades my fingers to soften. I notice how the body shrinks when it thinks it is unheld, shoulders guarding the throat, breath staying small. I set the cup down and say a gentle sentence to the air. You can be here and still be wanted. I think about how connection used to arrive by accident. School pickups, office kitchens, the same pew every Sunday. After 60, routines change and rooms thin out. Friends move, partners die, kids scatter, hearing grows selective, and invitations carry stairs. The calendar can look clean and feel like a desert. Loneliness turns the world sharp at the edges. The spoon rings louder in the sink. The evening window is a square of cold. Information softly. Public health voices, including the CDC, have raised alarms about widespread disconnection. Researchers at Harvard and elsewhere note that steady, supportive relationships are linked with better health and longer well being. None of that is a scold. It is a reminder that our hunger for company is not a weakness. It's biology asking for bread. So I try a first practice that fits inside a kitchen. The three breath hello. I place one hand on the counter, one on my chest. Breath one, feel something solid. Breath two, look for one warm thing. Steam, sunlight, the cat's fur. Breath three, say a real person's name under my breath. Then I send them a 14-word message. Thinking of you. No need to reply. Wishing you a soft, steady day. A reply is a gift. The sending is the medicine. On Tuesdays, I take a walk at the speed of noticing. A woman in a mustard cardigan deadheads marigolds. The petals stain her fingers orange. Someone's radio escapes a kitchen window and floats an old Sam Cooke chorus into the street. A delivery driver nods as if we share a secret route. These are not grand friendships, but they sand the burrs off the day. The body measures them before the mind does. Breath lengthens, jaw releases, the world warms a degree. I keep a pocket card labeled Gentle Connections. On it are doorways I can open without bracing, learn the barista's name and use it, bring a spare orange for the bus stop, ask the librarian for one poem she loves, leave a thank you note for the crossing guard, wave to the neighbor with the unruly roses, sit on the same park bench at the same time for a week, and say hello to whoever claims the other end. These tiny stitches build fabric where the day was fraying. Information, softly. Long-running Harvard work suggests that close, caring relationships predict better life satisfaction than money or titles. Other studies show that even light, weak-tie contact, smiles, short chats, can lift mood. Translation for tired afternoons, small counts, regular counts, kind counts. At home, I make a company shelf. 2 mugs, a tin of peppermint tea, a deck of cards missing the 3 of clubs, a jigsaw puzzle with a sky easy enough to finish in one sitting. When I feel the house go thin, I text one neighbor, tea on my steps? 15 minutes? Friendly boundaries make connections safer. We sit with our knees under our coats, and the steam curls like a banner that reads, Still here. Some days, my phone feels like a hallway I don't want to walk. That's when I use paper to ask for company. I buy postcard stamps and write 5 notes in one sitting. I saw a dog who looked like your old rascal. The ginkgo turned its coins today. I found our recipe for lemon bars. The sound of the mailbox lid is surprisingly tender. It says, You reached out. A week later, the replies come home like birds, small, bright, on their own timetable. Because isolation can feel like a spell, I build spells that work the other way. The doorway rule. I do not cross a threshold without greeting a body. Mine. You made it to the kitchen. Thank you, knees. Or someone else's. Morning. To the woman with the recycling. The 30-second call. I ring my sister and say at the start, only 30 seconds. I just want to hear your weather. We laugh at the timer like kids cheating at a game. Information gently given. The CDC frames social connection as a public health resource, not decoration. Protective factors include regular, meaningful contact, community participation, and feeling seen. We cannot fix the whole street. We can enlarge one square of sidewalk until others can step into it with us. I join a quiet table at the library, 4 chairs, a sign that reads, Soft Talking Welcome. We share pens, swap a poem, pass a pack of almonds. No one performs. When a widow sits down with her tax envelope, we straighten the pile of pencils as if polishing silver before a guest arrives. She mouths, Thank you. Presence can be fluent without many words. Loneliness is not cured by noise. It is eased by consent and rhythm. So I practice both. Consent. I ask, do you have the energy to talk? And believe the answer. Rhythm. I schedule connection the way I schedule prescriptions. First, Sundays with Margaret for soup. Wednesday benches with the walking group. Friday errands together with my neighbor, where we share a cart and don't impulse buy grief-sized snacks. I try a circle I can actually carry. 4 names on a loop. Each week I choose one to check on, one to invite, one to thank, and one to let rest. No one is responsible for saving me. Everyone is allowed to be tired. I tuck a small budget into an envelope labeled Bridge. Enough for an extra coffee, 2 stamps, tulips when they are brave in March. Money turns tender when it ferries us to each other. Boundary phrases protect the bridge. I can listen for 10 minutes. I'm not looking for solutions today. Can we walk while we talk? The first keeps me from drowning. The second keeps advice from bruising. The third lets the body help the mouth. After a hard call, I place a warm towel across my shoulders and breathe like a tide, 4 in, 6 out. So the nervous system learns that connection can end in calm. Information lightly. Harvard's decades of interviews suggest that tending a few close ties is the sturdier path than chasing many shallow ones. The research doesn't require charisma, only steady attention. My version is ordinary on purpose. A group text that only shares photos of small dinners. A porch where neighbors leave half-read magazines. A Saturday bench where we name trees like old friends. Evenings test me. The house creaks. The day's echo grows tall. So I make a closing ritual that invites company back into the room. I light a stub of beeswax and place a bowl beside it labeled Names. I write 3, 1 living, 1 gone, one I haven't met yet. Who will matter? I say, I'm glad you exist. The bowl is not magic, but the air changes temperature, as if the room remembers how to hold more than furniture. If the night still feels too wide, I put on shoes and go outside for the 12-minute loop. Porch lights glow like low moons. Someone's radio has opinions. A baby announces democracy. I count windows with curtains open, then closed, then open again. This is a neighborhood, not a test. On the way back, I drop a postcard in a blue box, simply addressed to Tomorrow Me. You're not alone. Open the tea. Here's the short map I keep on the fridge for the mornings I forget. 1. Body first. Warmth, breath, a steadying sentence. 2. 1 tiny stitch. Name, wave, note, bench, shared errand. 3. Boundaries is kindness, to me and to them. 4. A loop I can repeat. Weekly soup, walking trees, soft table. 5. Gratitude without performance. That helped. I am not cured of loneliness. I am companioning it. That is enough to make the night hospitable. When I turn off the lamp, the dark feels less like a hallway and more like a quilt. If you need words to begin, borrow mine. I'm glad you're here. Say it to your face in the mirror. Say it to the cashier with the green nail polish. Say it to the empty chair that still knows your friend's weight. Then open the tea.